A man in Tulare County was arrested and charged with possession of high-capacity magazines in the state of California when he legally bought and possessed them. This is not against the law currently for him to own these magazines, and he acquired them legally, but the state of California is still going to be throwing his ass in jail if the court case doesn't go his way. Let's talk about that today. So before I get into this, I want to say thank you to a couple people on my Patreon who have been supporting me. I also want to shout out the fact that I have a Discord, which I will leave down below. The link in this video at the pinned comment will be good for the Discord invite for the next 24 hours. Make sure you get in on that. I want to say thank you to Aaron and Roger from the Patreon for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys. And I want to say thank you to Mongoose over from Keybase. It's been awesome to have the support from you guys. This is super cool that I'm able to do what I do and able to continue to provide you guys content and provide value to you, and I'm thankful that you are supporting the channel. Well, let's get into the video today. So, here's the title of a link that was sent to me by Mongoose. It says, Freedom Week used as a defense for South Valley man facing gun magazine charges. Now, gun magazine charges, that's a little bit weird of a way to put it, but I guess they got to kind of specify because otherwise in the title, people might not know what's going on. But I do want to shout out the fact that the way that they report this says that during the search, they found a 15-round gun magazine considered a large capacity magazine in California, which I got to give them credit. That is a very non-opinionated, non-slanted way to put it. They're saying how big the magazine was, and they're saying that under California law, it's considered a large capacity magazine. They aren't calling this a weapon for an assault weapon, but let's give you a little bit of an idea of what's going on. The gist of it is that a man was legally in possession of magazines that are above the 10-round limit. He acquired them legally, and it is currently legal for him to own them. However, the Tulare County District Attorney filed felony charge against 27-year-old Feng Yang in March for violating the state's law on high-capacity magazine. That's a quote from this article. Now, let's talk about why it happened. A lot of people are going to say, why are people getting arrested with these magazines? You know, for me, for example, I have a lot of 30-round magazines that I legally acquired and now legally possess. Well, the Tulare County Sheriff's Department assisted with a parole search at a home in January, and during that search, they found in Feng Yang's room, which Feng Yang is not the person that is on parole, so he can legally own guns and these magazines. They found in his room, totally unrelated to the search, not related to the person that's actually on parole, which is Feng's brother. They found these magazines, and now they are charging him with felony possession of high-capacity magazines. Now, it says, Deputy Sheriff Matthew Williams spoke to Feng Yang that day, and then in quotes says, he said he had purchased them during Freedom Week, which is now, this is going on record. This is something that we're going to have to pay very close attention to, because this is them saying that he purchased them during that time. That is the defense that we've all talked about. Now, we all know that it's been illegal to buy, sell, import, or manufacture, but because of Freedom Week in March and April of 2019, I believe it was, it made it legal for us to buy, sell, import, and manufacture these mags, or keep for sale or lend. Now, that was a very short period of time, but when the Judge Benitez issued the stay, he said that the law cannot be enforced as far as you can still own these pending further review. That's pretty straightforward. The burden of proof that he did not commit the crime of importing them after the fact, after when it was no longer legal, is on the state. So I'm curious how they think they have the ability to get him on this for one 15-round magazine. One magazine. The district attorney and the judge from that county and the Tulare County Sheriff's Department are ruining an Asian man's life all because of one magazine that holds 15 rounds. Now, he could legally own and buy today 2 10-round magazines, and he could change a mag in under a second and get another shot on target, and that's totally fine. But for him to only be committing the crime of having a magazine that holds 5 more rounds than what the state deems is acceptable, they're booking him on felony charges. Really? Where is the crime? Where is the victim in this crime? There is none. There is no victim, and they are going to ruin this man's life. The only victim here is Feng Yang because the state of California, the judge, and the district attorney want to bend him over and rail him. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, the lawyer of Feng said The people of the state of California have the burden of proof. If they're going to charge you with committing a crime, I think it's incumbent on them to prove that it happened some other time other than Freedom Week. This is absolutely true, and this is what we've all been saying. It's just absolutely ridiculous that you could look at the law as it's currently written, look at what the judge ordered, and then try to say that you have the right to actually bring this forward. This is a waste of money. Why are we wasting more taxpayer dollars working on issues like this in the courts instead of things that actually matter? Meanwhile, they're most likely letting everybody off bail and letting everybody out and not charging anyone with all kinds of crimes due to the COVID outbreak. People can burn counties to the ground, but apparently they can still go after one dude for one magazine when he never broke the law to begin with. Let's remind everyone here, the reason they found this mag was not because Fang committed a crime. It's because his brother was on parole and he happened to be in possession of one 15-round magazine, which is legal for him to be in possession of, and he is claiming that he acquired it legally. The only possible way that the state would be able to prove that he did not take possession of these in the state of California when it was legal to do so would be if he maybe didn't live in the state of California at that time, maybe if he wasn't 18 at the time of that and didn't have possession of it, which I don't even think that would work. Maybe if they could prove that he was out of the country. There is no possible way, unless they literally watched him cross the border of the state of California with that magazine in his hand. There is no possible way for them to book it, and they have to know that, right? So they're just trying to f this kid for no reason. I really don't get it. If you have any comments, feel free to drop a comment down below. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Let's talk about this. This is something that I am going to be very, very attentive on because this is absolutely ridiculous. And this is very important because people like me, people like you most likely watching this, probably have magazines like this. And it's why it's important when you're transporting firearms, when you're in possession of firearms, or if you live with someone who is likely to be in a situation like this, that you exhibit extra levels of caution and concern. Alan's son got bent over by the police because he was in possession of guns that were not legal in the state of California, but the incident did not occur because of any fault of his own. Outside influencers. And this is why I have always said, I don't care if you don't comply. I don't care if you break the law, but if you do it, you need to understand the risks. I've alluded at situations like this where things outside of your own control that you didn't actually do anything wrong could cause police to come in contact with you and find things that are illegal. And this is another example proving that point. If you're going to break the law, be safe about it. You guys know the drill though. As always, have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.